I'm Ian Becker, and I want to show you the benefits of Provider View. Provider View, that you see over here, is how physicians see the patient's chart in Nanaimo and Oceanside. I think it's superior to the way that everyone else has used PowerChart, and I want to explain why. First of all, Provider View provides a nice long list of information. So you see documents there, and then you see labs, and vital signs, and medications, and diagnostics, and problem list. And that is exactly this list right here, and a user can customize what order these go in, so they can put labs first and then vital signs and then put documents at the bottom. Whereas over here on results review, you're sort of stuck with this way of going through the chart, or you have to click around, bounce back and forth. So Provider View has a customization feature that's immediately better. So let's just jump right into documents. And when you look at Provider View documents, you can choose what kind of documentation you like to see. So I just like to see physician documentation, and there it pops up right there. You can also see who the author was, and when you click on something, you immediately get the document view quite quickly right there. But over here on results review, if we look at some documents, we see none, so I have to change the date. Let's see, we could do it this way. There we got some documents, and you can't see who made the document, and you have to double click on it to get it to open up, and you're stuck with a bunch of documents that I never actually use, so you have to see all these documents. You can't filter them, and of course you have to open it up to see it. So more clunky, I would say, for sure. Now let's moving on to labs, and I'll just point out that I'm using this on Citrix, so it's not as smooth as it normally is. Citrix from home, that is. So this is labs. Labs view, you can click on a single value, and it gives you the highs and the lows. Click on a row, it'll do a trend line for you, and the trend line gives you little pop-ups to say, oh, the hemoglobin was 188 there, and then it dropped to 146, and now we're back up to 155, and of course the chart view. Now this graph isn't the best, but at least it's fast. You can also change the time quite quickly. You could drop it down to 5 years or 3 months quite quickly. But if we go over here to results review and we look at labs, you don't get that pop-up to explain what the highs and lows are. You have to double click it. Graphing is there, but you have to go click and then go click, and you get yourself a nicer looking graph, but you don't get the pop-ups to tell you what that value is. You have to go back and close and go look for that value, or read it, rough it off the y-axis. And the time frame change isn't too bad. You can just click up here, but you have to keep clicking. You can't jump to like just 6 months or 12 months. And now I'm going to save one of the best things for last. Scroll down to medications and check that out. It's pretty easy to read, huh? Citalopram, right? The alternating dark and lights. But if we go over here, you can get medications, but you have to go somewhere else to find it. There it is. And way more difficult to read, right? So much harder. And they've mixed up all the PRNs inside of all the regular ones. But here, PRNs are pulled out. So you're not distracted by this kind of messy business. So that's like a game changer for me right there, because reading this is so difficult to get it correct. And then we've got things that the results review can't even do if we keep scrolling down. We've got something like situational awareness. So I can make myself a little note to check his Dilantin next month, and then I can check that off when I'm done with it. So yep, done. Done like dinner. And or I can add a new one for someone else to do. I need to, and then assign it to someone else. I won't do that right now. And then I can also make a comment, seems to be depressed, and then some other people can read that later on when they open up his chart. Then you can also scroll down and you get his full order profile right there. If there's some upcoming labs or investigations. It's totally visible. And then the last great thing is, even if you're not too happy with seeing the labs this way, all you have to do is just click here and you pop back out to results review, where you can get the view that you may be more familiar with. So there's this built-in safety net. So I don't want to oversell this, but I really think that Provider View is just a lot easier to use. It's if we used a car metaphor, results review here is like a regular car, and then Provider View might be a car with a Navi and a backup camera. And you still a car, you can still drive around, but you get, for people who like that kind of stuff, it certainly makes a lot more sense, easier to use. So hope you find that useful, and if you would like to have Provider View, you need to contact your local iHealth rep. Thank you very much. Making health IT easy for you and me. I'm Ian B.